Hello, the Culture Genie here. This video is going to be an introductory video to what is going to be a series of videos called The Dark Side of History. In this series, I'm going to focus upon 3 categories of history, or rather try to focus upon 3 things. The first is history that is often not discussed or focused upon in popular history. This can be everything from history that is often not at the forefront, or things people usually do not think about regarding history. Spoilers! I have a background in studying the Middle East, so expect some things from here, though it will not be everything in this series. There are a lot more to history than only battles and kings, and often there are things just as interesting in the background. These things will go under the less known side of. The less known side of is going to be used as a subtitle in this series to refer to these sort of subjects in my videos. The second point is that I will try to present and view certain historical cultures, events and/or persons differently than is normal or commonly done, playing a bit of the devil's advocate in order to present certain events differently. But I will try to look at history a bit differently than is normally the case. I will primarily focus upon the villains of history, or what most people would deem to be the bad guys of history. This will be under the subtitle of Sympathy for. The reason for this is that I hate moralizing history, so this is not about trying to justify any actions and or arguing moral points, but rather explaining the facts and trying to create greater understanding for why things happened as they did and why certain groups or people did certain things. Hopefully I will not have an angry mob outside of my house demanding my blood. Oh shit! I will also sometimes discuss rather controversial subjects from a rather contrarian perspective, or rather more multifaceted perspective that I feel is sometimes lacking. Here I will try to discuss upon counterbalancing what I think are some common misconceptions about the past. For example, about the Dark Ages of medieval Europe, where I would argue that the term is much more complex than just saying that the Dark Ages did not exist or that they were the worst thing ever. The third point is the darker side of history, with a focus upon various practices, calamities, and events that people either have not focused upon or is usually glossed over due to its rather unsavory nature. This will be including a focus upon various practices that we would find repugnant, such as slavery, torture, and various other things that have occurred at various times in history. A special section will be dedicated under the subtitle of The Darker Side of, which will kind of be the opposite of Sympathy for, where I will try to problematize certain bits of history that might have been overlooked by more popular history about the good guys or more unknown groups. I can already feel the problems that are going to happen. Please don't. Again, just like the previous subtitle of Sympathy for, I'm going to try to avoid moralizing history and instead focus upon aspects that are usually glossed over in more popular history. These 3 things are going to be the focus of this series. Please do subscribe, as it would help the channel spread awareness about the humanities. اشترك بالقناة من فضلكم.